Hey guys, how's it going? Alright, so let me make sure this is on. It is. Welcome back to another Use It or Snooze It session. This is a collab with Brandy, the Left-Handed Crafter, and it's always on the last day of every month, so stay tuned because we're doing it in the year 2023 as well. We always use the previous month's kit just to kind of give us some time to go through and, think of ideas or whatever. So, so it's December now, so we are using the November 2022 kit. So check out her channel below. You'll see her video as well. And let's get going. Okay, so this kit of the month is called A Season of Santa. Now, y'all already know from, if you watch my other video, how I feel about Santa here when I unboxed him. I cannot bring myself to use that dude. It would definitely be my Snooze It, but it's just too creepy to use, right? He creeps me out. So, I have to start off with saying, after trying some of these and looking at them, they're all pretty much Snooze It to me. So, I will show you what I started with and we'll kind of go somewhere, alright? So, I thought this one would be really cool, right? It's like just kind of grungy and some snowflakes. So, I tried that and I wanted to do it on some really pretty peach cardstock, but I couldn't get my snowflakes. That's the best one that came out finally. And I tried it a bunch of different times and ways. I was going to do a little bag. That was a hot mess. But it's just not what I was looking for. And I could not get, like, this part of it to take the ink very well. So, I don't know. Anyway, so that my Use It already became my Snooze It. But I'm moving on to kind of to the next one. So this is going to be my Use It. Okay, I do like I like cocoa in general, so a little cup of hot chocolate there, you can't really go wrong with that. So that's going to be my Use It, and then my Snooze It is going to be, I do like snowflakes, it's just that I guess I have a lot of them, so that's why I finally decided that those would be my Snooze It, just because, I don't know, like, I'll just have them and I wouldn't really want it. Other than that guy, and he's gross. I'm telling you, it's like pedophile Santa. So I had this one creepy Santa at the mall. Well, we'll go in that story in a minute. But yeah, he was like, I sit on his lap as a little girl. I'm telling you, it's just like the funny movies or whatever. Like Santa smells of liquor and whatever. I'm telling you, he was a shady Santa for sure. But anyway. I'm not really feeling the trees. I'm going to sell this whole set, I think, in like a de-stash or something. It's great if you're really into Christmas. You guys know I'm really not. But yeah, I already have lots of little trees and things. I know you can do a lot with them, but I already have some. Like I have a dozen snowflakes. This, I can't get the ink to middle. This is pretty cute, but I already have some trucks and stuff, so, and then just words. Now, I do really like that, so we are going to use that. Just like a snowflake, you're beautifully one of a kind. And I may end up, I don't know, maybe I'll keep that, I'm not sure. But anyway, so let's get going today. It's probably going to be a long video, just have to warn you. Let me get out some more paper here. So it came with, you know how you get your freebies? Well, it came with this smooth tag. So I went ahead and cut it out of, just, like traced it and cut it out of some watercolor paper. I meant to put a hole there, but that's okay. And I thought I might just do a snowflake tag, possibly. I did not do this one off camera though, so I meant to do that. I knew I was going to do something. But I sort of thought something else. But anyway, it also came with this ribbon is why I happened to think of that. And I'll show you a snowflake paper that I did do. Okay. So here it is. And I did cut one of these just in case I decided to go that route, but now I've changed my mind. So, and I just watercolored the snowflakes just straight onto them as well. So, yeah, I don't know. We'll see. But anyway, now I'm into blue, so we're going to try some blue stuff. So I move some things out of my way, and I'm using, what is this? Something by Alta New, the watercolor thing. I don't think I know how to watercolor, to be completely honest with you. I just, for the longest time, I didn't even realize you were supposed to spray water on it, on your thing. Like, I just thought you did it there. Anyway, I'm a hot mess with watercoloring. So, I'm going to use these here, I think. I don't know what color that is. Oh, it's pretty. A mixture. Maybe that one too. You're probably, you know, actually, I think you're supposed to take these out. So, yeah, let's do that. Ew. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Are you? They do come out, right? I've never taken them out before, but that one was sticking up, and it just made me realize, ew, they can come out. Oh gosh, what order was that? I guess it doesn't matter. Well, I might have to use that one in there a little bit. I hate when I already get my hands jacked up and dirty as soon as it happens. Maybe some of those. We'll just go ahead and wet some of that too, because that looks pretty. I'm just ready to stamp a little. Today is the first time since on my holiday break at all that I have been able to do any crafting. So, ooh, there's some pink in that brush. This is going to be our main color, I think. But I kind of just don't have any concept of real watercoloring. So, whatever. It's okay. I just want a drippy little mess overall, I think. And we may add some greens or some... I do have some smaller brushes over to the side, but I like to color a lot of... color too. A lot of ground when we're waiting on this. I think I might better go with one of these, though. Don't think I've got any water in it, but that's okay. I can still use it the same way. I definitely need more of this color. Put that there to remind myself that's what I'm doing. Because I already feel myself wanting to go in like different versions of things. Anyway, hope you guys had a great holiday. The holiday itself was good for me. Things surrounding the holiday, not so much. But I came home Thursday evening. It's going to be a dog story, just so you know. Thursday after work, normally they'll let us out like a little bit early. We only got out 30 minutes early, which was kind of a bummer. But yeah, you know, it is what it is, so that's okay. We were taking a little too long with our holiday dinner and that kind of thing, and then we had like a baby shower, and the teachers were having a baby, and then they wanted to do the dirty Santa thing, and like on and on and on. So things just took a little bit longer. Y'all, I don't actually have my heat tool, darn, out here, but what I do have, I'm going to slide over here 1 second, is my heater, a little standing heater. So I'm just going to turn that on, dry this 1 second, okay? I think we can still chat a bit while I'm doing it. Maybe it won't be too loud. Well, I'll tell you what. While I'm holding this, I'll show you some Happy Mail. Okay. So, today's mail was This is from Jackie. So I love deer in general, and reindeer are always cute. And the gold's always an extra sparkly touch at this time, so hey. But anyway, she is, I don't think she's on YouTube necessarily, but she is a male buddy of mine, and I always love receiving her cards. My cousin Rhonda ended up sending me a surprise that arrived a little late, and but anyway, I love it. I like extend those holidays, y'all know me, so I'm totally cool with that. This is from Ulta Beauty. It's a raspberry petty pebble, so it can make my feet all nice and smooth and smelly goody and all that stuff. And then she sent this as well. It's from Bath Body Works. It's Sugar Plum Fairy. It smells really, really good. It's a candle, and I wish I had like smell-o-vision, because this is some good smelling stuff. Okay. And the last thing I got was from Ulta New. If you need any of these, whatever. How long does this last? Free shipping, 10%. Anyway, they send you a thank you stamp every year, and sometimes it'll have your name and things like that. And this is a really cute one. And you can just use the word thanks, but then some flowers. I think all companies should do that. So if you purchase something from them in the year, they will, alright, I'm going to turn that back off. I think it's not super dry, but it's dry enough. It like didn't dry on the bottom maybe, but it'll be okay. So I also have Ulta News, metallic stuff. So let's do, which one? Oh, let's wet them all. You never know. Who knows? I think dip that out just a touch. Maybe, gold? I don't know. Gold. I don't know. Let's try gold. If we get in that one, it's fine with me. Let's just do a little splatter and hope we don't splatter the camera there. I don't mind that. I think that's okay. Not a bad choice. A safe choice, you know. Sorry about the dogs barking. Ooh, that side seems to splatter a bit bigger, which is nice. Okay, so I'm gonna have to go get a hole punch, right? I feel like I want just a hint of another color though. I don't know, maybe a purple? Well, I've got this ink over here, and I had like a darker blue, so I could do the dark blue on that. That's pretty dark there. Let's try that one. Yeah, this is where you could definitely, if it had the water in the pen, would be nice, you know what I mean? So let me try this big Mama Jamma here, as I get everything on the desk wet. I don't know, y'all. I don't know. Anyway, so I don't even know what I was saying. Oh, the party melting. That's what I was saying. So when I got home, you guys know I've kind of complained about a giant pit bull next door that fusses with my dog, and it's kind of worrying me and seems to be getting a little more aggressive. I mean, he's a really good dog with people and with kids and everything, just not other dogs. And so there's a dog in heat, And I know he's had some trouble with some other neighbors' dogs and things, but they just let him run loose all the time, which is the problem. And so I came home and I was unpacking the car and like, yay, I'm on break. I'm so excited. And y'all know how I get on those breaks. Really look forward to those. I'm just going to dab this one time instead of turning on my heater, maybe. Yeah, that took some away, didn't it? Darn it. I don't know. We'll just go with that. So, I'm going to start on the next one, okay? Yeah, this side. Okay, so I'm going to watercolor on it first, and then I'll stamp, hopefully. That's the plan, anyway. So for this one, I definitely want green out here. So I'll keep those two. Oops. It's very slidey, isn't it? So I'll keep those two greens. And maybe a nice yellow. And a brown. I don't know. That could make that. I don't know. We'll see here. Oop, mixing the colors. That's not good. Kind of get that off the yellow a little bit. Again, homegirl does not know how to watercolor. Okay, so I know that stamping my cup, I'm going to stamp the green part roughly over here, okay? So we're just going to slap some green down. Give it a little spritz there. Maybe it'll kind of move along for us a bit. I don't know, it's pretty dark. Maybe a little less. Okay, so then I want let's go for some brown over here. This is just going to look like a big old forest or something. Anyway, so I got home and the dog was running at my dog like crazy at the fence, and it was not at our shared fence, which matters in the rest of this story, okay, because the neighbor lives right behind me, and we put up a large fence before they even moved in because just things. And we've never like complained or anything before, but enough is just enough. And they have, I don't know, it's rough. It's like there's trash everywhere, and oh, it's a mess. There have been like rats over there on her garbage, and you know, they burn and do things like that. Like that's, you're half afraid like your house is gonna catch on fire because there's like nobody around to watch it, and it's not good. But again, we tried to just suck it up and, you know, not say anything. And we heard that she was moving in the neighborhood, and she had lived here once before. Her house had gotten flooded out in an upper area here, and we were really, really hoping that really wasn't happening, because just different things. Her son, one calls himself the good son, one calls himself the bad son, and it's a little bit true. He's kind of known as the neighborhood thief, okay, and he's in and out of jail all the time, and just, you gotta lock up all your stuff, and but he had been gone for several months, so we just assumed probably another jail run, right? But just happy that he was, I don't know what I'm doing here, y'all, around. But so that comes a little later in the story. But anyway, so I need a wipe. Oh. Hang on, y'all. Just a minute. Let me tear myself paper towel. I don't have any wipes in here, so I'm just trying to wipe my hands. I've got to have just a little bit of this off my hands. Just a little bit. Okay. So now we're going to flip back to the other one while that one dries a little bit. Okay, so back to focusing here. So anyway, this pit bull is up at my front fence, and he's out of the yard all the time, and they don't even try to fix their fence, nothing like that. They don't. It's like wide open. There's no gate. There's nothing. So, and they've had many complaints and things about it. I know one neighbor, their dog was almost killed, and that was a couple times, and they'd called the police and different things, and nothing, at that point had been done. And so they would tell them to chain up the dog or whatever, put it up, and they would for a day or two, and then that was that, and that was it. So, all right, should I mist it or should I not? Just a little, maybe. I don't want it to get too, like, let's try to stamp off once. Yeah, that might be a little too much. I don't think it needs misting. All right, so where are we going to start? Boop. Okay, not so good. Less misting, less misting. Okay, so let's paint that again. And then I just want to paint it directly on there, I think. Just get at least, hopefully, a basic image of a snowflake this time. Oh, I know. I was going to stamp it, wasn't I? That's what I was going to do, because I had, yes, I forgot. Well, whatever. I don't know. I'll try to stamp it over that again, see if that'll give us a better snowflake. We'll save the stamping, and we'll do that word snowflake thing, possibly. So anyway, so my dog, which I didn't know at the time, but I couldn't tell. Okay, so there's all kinds of grandkids, right? That live somewhere else, but well, a couple of them live with her, but those never come out. But they live like, I don't know, 30, 40 minutes away. And, but when they come over, it's always a lot worse. So I guess they, want to play with the dog or something. And the dog's really good with him. I've seen it, it's a good dog. Y'all know I love dogs. I can't ever say dog is bad. But, just with other dogs. So, okay, I'm liking that. I have this little one. I don't even know if I want to mess that up with words. Yeah, I really don't. I don't know. No. So I'm going to put just a little water on there and get it kind of wet. Tap it off. And go back on there with that. That looks way too juicy, doesn't it? Yep. See that blob? Blobby. But anyway, so this lady, she's a grandmother, but not like, she's, I don't know. You don't want to stereotype or whatever, but it's like, the rough smoking, chain smoking grandma from just, like scrappy grandma. I don't know how to describe it. That's kind of the way it's been her whole life. And trouble seems to follow this lady. And she's always just kind of rough. But anyway, so now she's getting older, has a few health problems and things. And so she doesn't really come out as much and does better with the trouble and things. So her kids sometimes take up with that. But But anyway, she sends the grandkids always to get the dog. And actually, let me start the story back. So a few days ago, the dog was barking before this. It was like maybe the day before, actually. And she came to get it in her car because the grandkids ran to get her or whatever. And because I was like, you need to go tie your dog up, go put it in the yard, do something, get it away from a dog. And so, because this dog, I mean, Copper is the one I'm talking about. He sounds ferocious or whatever, but he's still, you know, just a little over a year, I guess, old. He's still more of a pup, and he thinks he's big and bad, but he's really not. He's no match for this big pit bull. And but anyway, okay. So now we're gonna switch back to the other one. Y'all keep up now, okay? Where'd it go? I'm gonna get the Misty out to stamp it because I will mess that up if I try to do it on my own, I think. Okay, so I need more green over here, right? So I think it should be like that, but I'm not sure. Might be a little crooked, but I believe it'll be okay. So I'm going to stamp it with some of this brown ink here to kind of flow in with that. But anyway, so she came and got it, but she sends the kids to take care of it, which they cannot handle it. And she'll send them with this massive chain. Like, it's not that long, but it's like, it's massive. And they can barely carry it. And it takes two of them to carry it. And they're trying to, like, pull at the dog. And I'm afraid they're going to get bit by their dog. But, you know, and he wouldn't mean to. It would just be because he's, like, snarling at mine. And, but she sends them to deal with it all the time. You know, you need to be the adult and take care of your business. So, but anyway, so she pulls up in the car, and they manage to get the dog in the car or whatever. And I talked to her again, which I've talked to her before, about keeping it in her yard and things. And so, but anyway, so that was previous to Thursday. I can't remember what day it was. But I want to say it was Wednesday, but I'm not totally sure. Okay, so we're just going to darken this up a bit. Or maybe brighten it up. I think we'll brighten it, actually. Ooh, that's a little much. I need that color, but not, maybe I need a less heavy brush. Maybe that brush. Oh, we'll see. Try just whisk, yeah, this is better. Whisk it on there. So anyway, he's going crazy at Copper and all that, but there's no bloodshed or anything. So I mean, they've got a chain link fence between them, and they're usually barking at the middle. I mean, at the bottom. But I'm afraid that one of them is going to figure out neither one of them could easily jump the fence. So I think there's a female dog, and he is, I think, the reason. I don't know. They used to be semi-okay with each other, and Copper would actually put him on the run, but not so much now. And I don't know if one day the female dog came over, and Copper, like, sniffed of her through the fence, and since then it's just been like, ugh, I hate you. And Copper hates him too, so, you know, he's just as, but anyway, I mean, that's just their nature, like, I know that. That's not a big deal. But, so, okay, so then fast forward to the Thursday thing. So I pull in, I come into, I'm trying to unload my stuff from the car. I'm going to do a little bit of a red cup, I think. Is that red, roughly? Oh, that's sort of pink. Y'all see which one I'm using here. I can twist it a little. Oh, that's the same one I just tried. Alright, let's try that one. See if that one's a little more red. Nope, still pink. Okay. Is this red? Okay, there we go. That'll do it. Alright, so I'll just go around the outer cup. I do always like to drink out of the little red cups at this time of year. I don't know. Just the color and season and whatever. But red cups make me happy, so this is going to be a red cup. But anyway, so the dog was at the fence, and I thought that it actually got a hold of Copper, and I still don't know how they did it through, because it's, a chain link fence is kind of small. But I guess they were just so close and so intense or whatever. So I thought he got a hold of Copper and he wasn't letting go, like, of his lip, jaw, something. I couldn't really see. It was, like, really intense. And they were just, it was bad. And they weren't letting go. And, I, of course, screamed and yelled at them and whatever. And so were the kids. And I still told them, I was like, go get your grandma right now. And, because sometimes, the dog will get in her car and things like that, but he must really like to ride the car, I don't know. But anyway, so they're like, we can't, she's asleep, and that just really flipped my lid, even worse than the dogs fighting. Like, ugh, I was just ticked. And so I had my phone in my pocket, so I just decided to call 911. And I told them I needed an officer here now, and my address and whatever, and what was going on or whatever. And so of course by that time it stopped. And but I told the cop, I need them to keep it, there's a leash law, there are city ordinances within city limits. I've got these in the yard and they're on their property and whatever. So, but luckily it was, and I don't want that dog hurt either. Because he's, like I said, he's a good dog, and I don't want any animal hurt. But, alright, so we need to do a snowflake. So let me show you my background for this. Y'all help me think of a snowflake color. Maybe we could do a gold. I never thought about that. Or a copper, maybe. Copper, since their story is about copper. Let's do that. Maybe they don't come out. Yep, they do. It's called citrine. Oh. So anyway, I realized that Copper is not hurt, so that I'm extremely happy about that, and that he must have gotten a hold of the other dog. And I check him and, like, roll him over, and I don't know why, because, like, his body wasn't at the fence, but still. And I don't see anything wrong, but he's, like, hyped up on adrenaline, buddy. He's, like, still pacing and going, and, but anyway, they finally got a chain or whatever, and I guess had their dog over there, so that was good. But you know what, I should take a pin and go around that just a touch. So it's like, I don't know, highlights the black part a little bit more. I feel like I messed it up. I don't feel like that's that great of a snowflake, to be honest, but whatever. There it is, that sparkle pen. So, anyway, I've never called the police for anything in my life, like, that I can think of. Just not a police caller. I don't know, like, I've never been in a situation, luckily, that I've had to, and thankful for that. But yeah, I was just, there's something about me and dogs, y'all know. So I'm just going to go over this with that too, why not? And then I'm going to find some kind of little black, little black pen or something. Is that black? Yeah, that'll work, whatever that is. Oh, it's an embossed pen. Yeah, maybe not. It might work. I see every color. There's a black. But black. So anyway, so the cop pulls up or whatever, and so I tell him what's going on. He, I told him I actually thought it was mine, and I couldn't break them apart, so I didn't know what to do. And but I wanted him to tell her to put the dog up and keep it in her yard, and he assured me that he's been called on the same dog many times, and around the neighborhood, and it's attacked dogs and just all sorts of things. And I thought, then why don't you do something? But whatever. Anyway, so he went to talk to him. So and then he came back and told me, they said, yeah, they'd put it up and whatever. And but their normal routine is they'll say they'll put it up, and they do for a day or two, and then it's out again. And that was the problem with some of the other neighbors that I had known about. But, it was never mine, and so I tried not to get involved with that or whatever. But, what the baby's barking at. Alright, put a little extra tape on that. Probably going to, before I glue it down or tape it down, I'm just going to go ahead and glitter the whole thing. I was just going to do the marshmallows, but with it being like a winter or holiday type card, I feel like glitter. This is when you can get away with glitter. This or birthdays or something like that. We're just going to do some glitter through there. Just a little sparkle everywhere. Anyway, so I thought, okay, maybe they'll take care of it this time, maybe whatever. And I didn't think Hopper was hurt except a place on his mouth. And he held on so tight like it had bent the chain link fence. And so I didn't know if that place would get infected or anything. Well, it went on, so that was Thursday, the 23rd, I think, right? Anyway, so on the 24th, everything seemed okay. And then on the 25th, Copper had like a limp. And I thought, well, maybe, he runs and whatever. So I didn't think it was from that because, I hadn't really seen anything. So, but then I realized, looking closer, his limp was, imagine like a sandwich. And, like, here's the sandwich. His nail was split straight back this way. Like this. And it was, like, straight into. So I don't know if it was where if the dog did something, if he was holding on to the fence so hard. Like, it was something to do with that, though. And he would, like, put his paw up on me and cry and, like, tell me about it. And I was like, oh, God, Copper, like, I don't know. So that morning, the next morning on the 26th, then I called the vet, and I just got their answering service. They said they were closed. They wouldn't be open until in the morning. So I'm like, and, which, I mean, everybody needs a holiday. I'm not, that's great. But when your dog is sick, it's like, and I know they don't necessarily consider that like a major emergency, but to me, when he is limping or crying, it is, if you're a pet, mommy, daddy, but anyway, so we, let's see, what happened after that? So, okay, so that morning, let's see, that was Tuesday. So Tuesday morning, I was up at 8 o'clock and ready and had the car running, and Copper was ready and whatever in case they said yes. So I called the vet. Actually, I'm now friends with the answering service lady because I had called the night before, and then I was telling her the whole story. I'm like, oh no, I really need an appointment. Can you give me, is there any way you can guarantee me an appointment? She's like, no, I'm just the answering service. But then she started telling me about her Christmas and blah, blah, blah. And then, so I called back the next morning, and I called at like 7:45 because I was getting antsy. And I know they don't open till 8, but but anyway, so, all right. These also came in the kit. All right. So, I think we shall put those on there, but not just those. We're going to sparkle them up or paint them or something. And I actually am liking this citrine color, it says. So we're just going to try some of that. It'll kind of blend in, hopefully. But anyway, so then she's like, oh, they open at 8 or whatever. So then I called back at like 5 till 8. She's like, nope, 8 o'clock. I'm like, okay, sorry. And so then I called at 8. I still got her. I'm like, you said 8 o'clock. She's like, well, sometimes it takes them, till about 8:15 to really get in there and, get going. I'm like, ugh. So finally I get them, and impatient as I am. But Copper, he's like literally just telling me over and over. I'm like, buddy, Mama's trying. I'm trying. And I try not to call myself Mama to him, but I do sometimes. And I can't help it. But I know this is not his forever home. I'm still looking. I'm still hoping that he can find a home, just the right one. And, I really can't hardly see that. I think we need another layer. Yeah, maybe that's better. But anyway, when he's just flat out telling you, you want to help the baby. But anyway, so they luckily did give me an appointment that day, because I thought, oh my gosh, what am I going to do if they don't, I don't think I'm going to be able to make it if they don't give me an appointment today. And, but they did, luckily. So she said, can you do 11:15? I'm like, yes, that'll be fine. I thought now'll be better, but, I'll take what I can get. So we took him up there, and the vet said that he's young and things, and he would like to save his nail if possible, but it was like cut so far back that he couldn't promise that. Basically, he would try some. He gave me antibiotics and pain medicine for him, and said that we would try that, and if it didn't work, then if it didn't work, we would do it on the 19th, when he would already be under for his surgery anyway, because they had canceled that. I was just devastated again. I thought, oh my God, this is not meant to be. Like, one time I had to cancel, and then twice they've canceled, and which have been totally legitimate. Like, they totally explained, and I know the COVID thing and everything. Like, I get it, but I still, like, it's been forever, it seems like. And so I just felt like it was starting to be not meant to be for the dog. And but I thought neutering would also help, with this situation. Might not have even happened if I could have had him neutered already. But anyway, I don't know. So, but that dog's not neutered either, unfortunately. But we'll see about that. I'm going to try to find some organization or somebody that could, they probably don't want me to now, but to transport him or something, but they'd have to pay for it or find somebody or something, but it would, I feel like, help the neighborhood if he would be fixed as well. But anyway, so good news at the vet, though. They did say, he said it's all the way back. He went into the blood vessel speech and the this and the that, but it's way back at the back where it's iffy. He said it may do okay, it may not. He's not sure. But he said, for him to be careful with it. Great, right? So he gives me the medicine and stuff. And he also did tell me with the new appointment, because I had asked him, because the girls said they didn't have anything out front. But then the main vet, and they've hired a new one. Anyway, I did meet the new guy. He's not so bad. I still like this one better, but he's got this weird dry sense of humor, but I like it. He also, through part of it, he was like, because I wanted him to look at his lip, right? Like the inside of his mouth, he had that little spot I told you about. And I was like, well, what about this? Is this bad? Is this going to get infected? Like, what do you think? He's like, no, I think it'll be fine. He just barely looked at it. Like, he didn't really even look at it. I'm like, are you really going to inspect that? Like, Just glanced at it. What do you think? And he's like, remember, I get to be the vet today, and you get to be the mommy. I'm like, yeah, yeah, yeah. But, yeah. Anyway, I just want him to really look at it. But, anyway, so he did get me the neutering appointment, so that was really awesome. And, okay, so I'm sorry, I'm going to talk about dogs all day and not do my words. Okay, this could possibly ruin this. I'm just going to warn you. But we're going to go ahead and try anyway, I think. If we do, we can do another tag. It's only paper. But I am going to stamp the words because I do really like that snowflake thing on there. And then we'll punch our hole and do our thing there. But I feel like it should be there, but that might overlap right there. Maybe I should do black or brown. I don't know. So what do you think in this kit? What would be your use it or snooze it? Maybe I should have done some darker blue and done it in that color. Oh well, I did say it's just paper, so we're going with this one. This is Warm Breeze. But anyway, so we came home. He did excellent riding up, no car sickness or anything, because we have like an hour and 15 minutes to travel to the vet. And, oh, it does show up, yay. And around a lot of curves. Like the last 30 minutes is pretty good, but the first 45 is kind of like hell, so especially for a dog. But he did really good. We did stop once to go to the bathroom on the way back, and he was pooting on me a little bit. That's his little heart. And I shouldn't have given him those French fries. We stopped for a burger, of course, and he was a perfect gentleman. It was so funny. My father followed me up because my boyfriend wasn't going to be able to go with me, and I don't know why he thinks he's so much help to me anyway, because, I mean, I love him to death, but he's just like, he's out there talking to somebody and whatever, or Copper at his last vet, he wouldn't walk in, he wouldn't walk out. Like, I had to pick him up and carry him back when he was 30 pounds. That was a lot easier. The vet did tell me he gained 24 point something pounds, so he's now like 54 something pounds, so and then I was worried. I'm like, oh God, is that gonna be too much? And I asked him, he's like, nope, he's perfect, he's just a growing boy. And so I was happy I didn't get fussed at for like feeding him too much or anything, because while it's been really cold, I have been giving him a few extra things like what should we do there? These maybe? Or these? Let's do the green. Made him some biscuits and gravy, some mac and cheese, just things that are like warm, to warm his little belly. And so we've had some bitter cold lately, y'all. If you're anywhere on the East Coast anyway, you probably had that too. Ooh, I'll tell you, it is some kind of stuff. Everybody's pipes were freezing. My boyfriend's pipes froze. A lot of people I knew, their pipes froze. It was a mess. But, okay, so I'm just going to do probably those 3 corners. I think that one, I don't know, I might could tuck one there. Anyway, oops, that one just flew right at me. Man, that has some messy hands. I don't know if it helps it or not, but whatever, it helps my mind, because I like to put those things on those things. Alright, hang on, y'all. I gotta get the hole punch, okay? If I could walk in my messy craft room, it would help some, wouldn't it? Oh my God, I just glanced at the time. It says 48 minutes. Holy shadookies. I've been rambling on forever. Okay, so we're just going to go down a little bit. Hook our hole here. But anyway, so I'm probably going to have to continue this story because there is a way lot more to it. But so good news at the vet. Well, fast forward to we get home. Well, maybe good news at the vet anyway. So he said he would just take the toenail thing off if he needed to, when he already had him sedated for the surgery. And he also told me, because he's like, I said something about, well, how long, do you suggest like I board him or whatever, and I swear one vet, I think it was a vet, I don't know, I've talked to so many people that said it was a shorter amount of healing time for dogs or whatever, or male dogs. But he says definitely not, and the internet kind of says not too, so I don't know, I guess I'll have to believe them, but I was hoping. And now I worry about, I would board him anyway because of these maniacs next door, but, okay, so I'm going to trim this off a little bit. Okay. But, he still says like 10 to 12 days. I'm like, geez. And, I told him I had used the place that they had recommended before out there, the boarding kennel or whatever, because they said they didn't. And, but anyway, the vet has moved to a new office. It's very big and nice and whatever. Okay, that's cute. I like it. All right, y'all. So, not the end of story time if you want to stay around, but the end of my card. So, I kind of, actually, I like my Snooze It, I think. We could have, you know what? It's not the end. It's not the end. Even though it's watercolor, I don't think it'll be so bad if I, stamp over it in ink, because it's still going to have that watercolor look, What do you think? Oh, yes. But anyway, he also said, he's like, well, you can board him here or whatever. I'm like, are you serious? And he said, yeah. He said, I know the girls out front will tell you, no, you can't. We don't allow that or whatever. He's like, but I tell them Dr. Blair said you can. And I'm like, awesome. Because I feel, I really like the place I boarded Brownie. And they let me come visit and things like that. And I'm not sure that the vet will be as accommodating. But I also feel like, what if, if their stitches were coming out, or if they chewed them or whatever, it would be better for them to be already at an actual vet. Because the boarding place said it's, not too far from there. And they said they would transport them there or whatever if something like that happened. So I felt good about that. But, so I don't know which one to do, to be honest. But I did appreciate him saying I could board there. And I forgot to ask the price. I was so excited that, so I'm going to have to call back. And I would say it would be roughly the same, because the boarding place is like $25 a night. And people really pay a lot for pet stuff, really do. Which brings me to my next point of, okay, so fast forward to we get home and get out of the car, I put him in the yard, and Brownie's happy to see him, and she's missed him, and all this stuff, and then here comes that pit bull right back, and he is supposed to be careful with his paw, to save it, and, but he is, boom, 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 and he's already had his pain medicine, so he's probably not feeling it, and, but I didn't expect that, I just didn't expect it, and so, it was pretty quick this time. They didn't actually lock on to each other or anything, thankfully. And the kids were sent back over there to try to get him, and the grandma was kind of hollering at him. His name's Romeo, from the porch, that's going to do anything for a snarling dog, half a mile away. But anyway, so the people that had called the police with their dog and all this trouble with their dog happened to call for me, I guess, because they saw me standing in the yard and I guess yelling at the dogs or whatever. And they probably still want something done about the dog, and I understand how that is. So here comes the cop, and everything's settled down by that point. And so he pulls back in, and he's like, yeah, what happened? I'm like, look, I didn't call you today, and but I'm glad you're here. Like, this is the problem again, and they need to keep their dog over in their yard. And so anyway, he talked to them, and they said so their story, I guess their version, was they're fighting at our back fence, which is our shared fence, right? Which is not true at all. They're fighting all the way around the corner and around the front of mine. And they rarely ever even bark at each other there because they can't see each other because of some bushes. But that's her story, whatever. So he's like, well, that would, it would be more of a civil dispute or whatever because of the shared fence. I was like, all right, no problem. I will take care of that. And he said something about maybe we could come together and she could pay half and I could pay half and we could put some wood or something there and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, yeah, right. I mean, I didn't just laugh in his face, but that's never going to happen. They're never going to pay or do anything. So I said, okay. I said, well, I will take care of that tomorrow. I said, there will be no shared fence. I will get a new fence. I will have it put up, and we will not have the shared fence. They won't be, because they're already sectioned off to the front yard. There's only like, I don't know, 12 feet, 15 feet, something that they can get to this shared part of the fence. So sure enough, the next morning, I go to the hardware store, I buy a roll of fence, and I have, there is just like a few minutes away, so they deliver it. And in between times, I go to the post office, so I'm gone about 15 minutes. And I don't know if they saw me leaving or what the deal was, like, I don't know, but the dog was loose when I got back. As I was coming up the road, I see the dog over in a different neighbor's yard, and all the kids are around. Everything's buzzing over there and whatever. Come to find out her pipes are frozen. Her sons were there working on it, but anyway, so they come by, and the dog, before I can even pull in my driveway, the dog has come over and whatever with Copper right then. I'm like, no, I've already, I just paid $200 for fencing junk. I just paid $200 at the vet. Like, this is bleeding me dry here. And there's a city code, there's a ordinance, there's a leash law. This should be enforced, So, but anyway, so then that time I called again, and I was so mad. Like, again, like I said, I've never been a police caller or whatever you call it before, but I'm like, no, I'm tired of, I pay taxes, whatever, I'm tired of the neighborhood just going to pot, and I don't know, it's like the people that are the rule breakers or the whatever, or, like, I don't know, nothing ever happens. It's like we have a drug problem around here majorly, and, it's like they run the place. I'm tired of that, and, but anyway, so whatever, get off my rant for that. But so I call, he comes, and so this time, because I've, putting up the fence, whatever, I actually took pictures of them, luckily, because they weren't like completely, whatever. But I snapped a couple pictures to show him it's not back there where she says at that fence. It is up here in the front of my house, where the dog is completely out of her yard, like in a whole, football field away. And he is coming to mine, which, like I said, with the dogs, I don't blame either one, because that's animal instinct. I don't, he's a good boy, mine's a good boy, like, it's fine. But if you own a dog, you have to, do the right thing. So finally then he said he appreciated us getting the fence and all that. We didn't have to do all that. He just meant some wood. I'm like, no, I want to take care of it. I want to, because he said, she also said something about him trying to dig over into her yard. And I took pictures of the whole part where she said that was as well. There's not even a little dig mark on the thing. I wish he would have, like, walked over there and looked at that with me, but it doesn't matter, like, whatever. She knows it's not true. I know it's not true, but it would have been nice if the police officer, I thought. But I had, the yard is like really muddy, and I hated to like take him through there. But anyway, so that's why I wanted to do the fence thing, so that there is no question whatsoever that he cannot. And I wouldn't want him to if he was. Like, I would take care of that. If somebody said they're digging in somebody's yard, like, I'll fix it. You know, I will totally remedy that, because I don't want any animal that I have to be a nuisance to someone else. But anyway, that's not the way everybody believes, I know. So, so it happened like, well, it happened more than the 3 times, but that was when just the police happened to whatever. But finally, as of yesterday, they were, I could hear them like nailing and doing and, you know, hammering, whatever, while we were over there fixing airs and putting up the new fence. And it took like 6 hours to do it. And it was, the first part of the day wasn't too bad. Otherwise, it was cold. But the dogs enjoyed it. They just hung out with everybody, and they were, you know, thrilled to just like lay all over us while we were working on it. But the ground was frozen. It was a mess. But it's done. It's up. I don't, it really doesn't affect much. It's kind of a complete waste of money, because it just sections off something that they weren't even at or fighting at. So, but legally it will allow the cop to now do something, you know. It's not a civil dispute or whatever he was calling it, because of a shared fence. I've eliminated that. So, but anyway, he must have been a little bit more harsh or something, because they actually were doing something this time. And I don't know. But it's just, and we've tried to talk to them and things, and, you know, but they're like, well, you know, dogs will be dogs. And I'm like, I get that, but, you know, you got to keep him in your yard. And they're trying to tell me he's good, he's good. I'm like, I know he's good. I've seen him. He's great, you know. But again, not with other dogs. And they're like, well, he's never done this before. I'm like, well, what about the neighbor down the road? And what about the other neighbor? And, you know, they're like, oh, well, yeah, them. I'm like, yeah. Anyway, so long story short, today he has been somewhere else, or in the yard, or tied up, or something, because I haven't seen him, so that's good. And I don't want the dog to be chained up, like, you know, and they got him on some short chain when I did see it. And, but, ugh, I don't know, I'm torn between, like, the dog and then safety of this dog. But I can't keep affording to, you know, have him hurt and go to the vet. And I really want him to keep this toenail thing. I don't know if that matters in his life, the longevity of his whole whatever being. He may need that, I don't know. But I don't want him hurt on my watch, you know what I mean? So, anyway, that has been my my day. Today has been the first day I've been able to get in the craft room, and so it's just kind of been a hot mess. But I'm excited to do this, this, whatever this is, this use it or snooze it. Let me focus a minute. So be sure and check out Brandy's. I'm sorry I've rattled on so long, but I haven't got to talk to you guys in a while, and I've got a million stories to tell you. Y'all know how I am. So, it's sad though. Like, I don't know. Like, I just never thought the police would be at my house for anything. It's strange. Like, life on the edge with me is, I don't know. Like, I got really hungry the other day, and I was annoyed, and I came in and I ate a piece of celery that I hadn't washed, and I thought, oh, I'm such a badass. Like, ooh, dirty celery. Yeah. Anyway, I know. Not just, anyway. I'm just not a very exciting person, I guess. But, anyway. So, I'll talk to y'all later. And thanks for watching. Tune in to next time. And I promise not to ramble on so long. And if you've stayed this long, thank you for listening to me. And apparently loving animals for listening to dog rambling on stories. So I'll talk to y'all later. Hope you're doing well, and can't wait to see what Brandy does. Bye, y'all. What would you guys pick, by the way? Where'd that paper go? Just had that. What would you pick? What would you pick? What would be your lose it? Your snooze it, and what would be your use it? So So let me know in the comments. Bye, guys.